All right, thank you, my dear brother. All right, let's go to Jimmy. Jump in that microphone. There's a lot of money, and I'm sure the President of Barack Hussein Obama's administration, we have some of the same money out here for fatherhoods. Why can't we get more nonprofit organizations, 501c3, to tap into this money? What is the challenge for tapping into this money when we know lack of fatherhood is running rampant in our community?
Well, right now, my challenge to any man out there, any father out there, Fatherhood Assisted Lifestyle Legal Service Incorporated, state of Florida in 2002. Christmas before last, we got our federal 501c3. We're looking for an executive director. We'll be out at the corner of Main and Albany today with music. Now, if you want to come out there and get on the stage to dance, you come out there with music. But we're looking for an executive director to tap into $300 million that the federal government's got out there for responsible fatherhood. Most of this money is going to women organizations because to get this money, they will set up token responsible fatherhood things, domestic violence classes, anger management. We can tap into this too. We need men to join us and apply for these grants, and we will have funding. You can't do anything without funding. You can call 211 and get our fatherhood line right now. I have to monitor that crisis hotline at 211. We need men to come out and volunteer. We need men to step up to the plate, and they can be the executive director of the fall and apply for some of this $100 million. If you got $1 million, Dad, I think you can come and run it just as well as I am. I'm 60 years old now. I challenge some young guy to come and step in and take my place.
All right, Jimmy said I'm ready to step down and pass the baton to a younger one. But there's a lot of money in a lot of churches and mosques of 501c3. Amen. Sadiq, you may want to consider tapping into some of that money and set up a responsible fatherhood program. Very, very important. Let me give this out because we are coming down to almost the end of the show. This is called the 3 C's of successful fatherhood. Consistency, care, and courage. Those are the 3 C's. And I want either one of you to take one of them. Successful fathering, it takes to being constant and consistent in the child's life, showing care and love, and being a loving father, and have the courage to do the right thing. Which one you like to take? Pastor? Go ahead, take one.
I would go with care.
Okay.
I think that's something we don't see enough in our community is, young men being hugged and being loved on by older men, in appropriate ways. And, I know we had a caller calling and talking about that, but I remember my great-grandfather and my grandfather hugging me. I remember his friends, an older gentleman who's since passed, shaking my hand and looking me in the eye and showing me genuine concern
yes,
and care. So often we get that from the female side, but we don't get it from the male side. And though when we do get it, we do get it in a church, our mosque, our another organization, we don't even know how to interact with one another. That's why we got to walk around and look hard and look upset and look mad all the time, because let's keep it real, because we're not used to seeing a side of care and love. In the book of Acts, there's a story of a young man named Eutychus that fell out of a window. And I just preached on this in D.C. last weekend. The text says that Paul got down on the ground and embraced the young man. Right down there in all of his blood, with his neck broke, having fallen from the 3rd floor of a building. Paul embraced him, and I wonder how much better our community could be if the older men, if our senior brothers embraced some of these younger brothers.
Very good. And that tradition, Master D, can jump right in there. Love for your brother, that which you love for yourself. It's one of the traditions of Muhammad the Prophet, peace be upon him.
It is one of the traditions. And our mosque at St. Petersburg Islamic Center, when we started our Get Lit program 4 years ago. And we had about 36 students, most of them little young men between the ages of 7 and 12 years old. And they wouldn't let us hug them. We take pictures, they wouldn't smile for the pictures, anything. It took us 2.5 years to get those little boys. And what did it was, one day I was at the mosque, it was a school day, and 3 of them showed up, 6 of them showed up. I said, hey, what are you guys doing here today? They said, we came to see you. I said, what are you coming to see me for? I said, we heard that you're a great mechanic, the best in the world. Somebody, I said, well, who told you that? They said, well, your wife told us that. I said, well, she told you that it's true. So I said, what can I do for you? They said, we want you to prove it. I said, well, how can I prove that? He said, well, all of our bicycles are busted. we want you to fix them. So I said, okay. I called Hakeem. I canceled my appointments, and they had bicycles with busted tires, with one sprocket, no seats. I mean, I made a list of everything, went down to Walmart and bought everything that they needed to fix their bicycles. Then everything went good. And then 2 weeks later, 3 other guys showed up again. I said, hey, what's wrong now? They say, our backs are broke again. I said, it can't be. So I got the backs and I checked the tubes. I put it in the water to check for leak. Nothing was wrong with the backs. Until the last back that I checked, I found an oak stem down in the tube. And I said, hey, front and center, what's up here? They said, well, we let the air out of our tires so that we can spend more time with you. Man,
Think about that. What a story. What a story.
That love, that's showing compassion for people. But the main thing that we've done, we teach them principles. You know, what love is, what honesty is, what those things are. Because these kids really don't understand what true love is. If you've never seen love, how can you identify it?
That's true. All right, Hakeem the Dream. That was a wonderful story, one day.
Right.
And that showing compassion. And I'm glad you brought up Hakeem the Dream, because you touched my heart. I had a great stepfather. You know, I grew up without a father. And I know when I was growing up in Georgia, and when we used to have little events at the elementary school, and everybody else used to come, they had a thing back in the country, had a cowboy day. You were wearing a cowboy outfit, you know, and everybody, and the daddy would come, so they would, you know, you wear your little cowboy with your little cap pistol and stuff. That was a big day in school. Everybody had their dad, and I didn't have no daddy. And I used to feel bad about that. And then one day I went home, and my stepfather said he'd go there with me. So the next time they did the cowboy day, I had a daddy. So good stepfathers, what I want you to talk about.
Well, the stepfathers, and we unfortunately we call them stepfather. That's the language we use. But a father can't be a stepfather. He's just a father.
That's
He might not be the biological father of this child, but his characteristic, his instinct, is based on fatherhood. And man's now, we got to be more than just a sperm donator. And this is what's been happening in our community now. When a woman gets impregnated, 99% of the time she would not end up marrying the father to that child. It would be someone else if she get married. Then she have 2, maybe 3. So things like this, we have to.
You're right.
We have to stop. We got to make things better. We got to be held responsible for our own account of what we do. We can't put the blame out on somebody else when they all start with us. So again, we appreciate the opportunity to talk about fatherhood. We have men here today, and we hope the sisters could benefit from that and move on with your life. And brothers who may not have a job or feel like life is not what it should be, get in touch with Jarvis or myself. We take you down. We can buy some products from a wholesaler and knock on some doors and get your dignity back, get your self-esteem back, and work hard at what you do, and you'll be proud of what you would accomplish within your own self.
Yeah, he's definitely right, and I agree with that whole notion. We're almost out of time.
Take us off with that song, brother.
No, well, let me do the closing arguments before that. Let me do the closing remarks before that.
Let me say one word.
Okay, that's let me do close out first, and then I want to talk about next week's show, then we'll end with the song. All right, we had in the studio with us, we had Jimmy Gray, who was the president of Falls Assistant Lifestyle Legal Services. Give us your closing remarks, Mr. Jimmy.
I would like to invite everyone to come out to Maine and Albany today. All of the information can be disseminated there, what we talked about today. The Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church family will be there. The male gospel choir will be performing. You can get information, help, and services. I invite the whole panel here to be a part of my board of directors to help us get this going the way we want to get going, and get some of this $350 million that's out there to solve all of our problems and work together.
Give out a telephone number on the website or something.
813-895-0033. That's Fatherhood Assistance. You can dial 211 crisis line and ask for a fatherhood assistance, and you'll come to our website.
Get Mr. Jimmy Gray. All right. Imam Sadiq, give us your closing remarks, sir. Thank you for being on the show.
And first of all, I'd just like to thank you and Hakeem, Jarvis and Hakeem, for inviting me on the show. It's been a wonderful experience, and the 2 gentlemen that I've met on the program. St. Petersburg Islamic Center has been around for about 40 years, and we're doing wonderful work in the Childs Park area in St. Petersburg. We've totally got rid of drugs in the area that we're in, and we've rejuvenated that community, dealing with the children. I'm telling you, if you don't start with the children, it's just not going to work. You have to start with the children. And if you like to contact St. Petersburg Islamic Center, SPIC, you can go spicmasjid.org for our website, or you can go spic.masjid.com for our email, and just drop us a line. The telephone number is 727-692-3342.
All right, if you didn't get that number, just call me and I'll give it to you. Pastor Johnson, your closing remark. You've been wonderful. It's been a wonderful thing to have you on the show.
Oh man, thank you all for the invitation. I'm really glad to be here, to the host and to the great panelists. It's just really good to have this conversation.
It is.
You know, a quick thing, you know, I will say this. We talked about what the original plan was, the original pattern was, but the truth is that's not working out that way. And the challenge we want to give to men is, men, find a child. Men, participate in the life of your child. Give your child instruction. Be a role model for your child. If you can't find your child, find somebody else's child that doesn't have a role model, and be a role model for them. We thank you. If you all want to come visit us at the church, True Faith Inspirational Baptist Church, you can come on by anytime, 2526 West Sly Avenue. We have a nonprofit there called Support Inc., where we offer GED, ESOL classes, community service. So if you need any of those things, give us a call at 813-933-4201. 813-933-4201.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. And we make it happen. This is Under's Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. Hakeem the Dream. Next week we're going to be talking about, come on in the microphone, we're going to be talking about the NFL, past, present, and future. We're going to be talking about the lockout. We're going to have some NFL former greats, some present NFL great. This is one of your production of the show I've been assisting you with. How we looking on this show next week?
Well, we got two prominent football players now. We're working on one big superstar.
Okay.
But I don't want to put the name out until we get him under contract.
So we're going to be talking about next week. Tune in to Under's Opinion. NFL, past, present, and future. And then we're working on a real big show after that, Hakeem. We're not going to talk about that yet, but we got something coming special, don't we?
Yes, sir.
And we got something coming special after that. This is Jarvis Elamine with Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. We're going to end with Color Me Father, going out, and I'll see you at the Hope Center, 12 noon today. Have a great day. That's it. Ella, you rolling there. Ella, man working today. Ella, man working today, boy. Yeah, work. Ella, you ain't never had to work like that. Ella, hey, oh, get here. I said, Ella, you heard this mother today, boy. All right. You was great. All right. So we're going to get a picture. Okay. I'll get a picture. This is going to hit Facebook tonight, so please give him your information. Okay. And what you need to give it trying very hard to understand the golden rules. Okay. And also I want to give a shout out to our IT man. Go to Facebook. Go to Facebook, and we're gonna friend us on Facebook. Put in Honest Opinion Radio. Sadiq Ibrahim, jump in that microphone right quick. Say something to the people. You got 30 seconds. Say something to the people. Our IT man.
Yeah, please make sure you go to the Facebook and like our fan page. Make sure you like it, and you can find a lot of old videos, new videos coming soon, and
behind the scenes.
And behind the scenes.
All right, then. Color me Father. Color me Love. Honest Opinion. We'll see you on the ups and next Saturday.
All right, that's good. That was good. That's good.
You're going to get your name in. We'll get a picture out of here. Color him Father. I keep a dream. It's old Playtime production. I keep a dream. Old Playtime production. Bring it back, man. You tell me it was yesterday. Hey, Ram.
Ain't nothing like the old school, man. Ain't nothing like it.
Keep the dream.
I keep the dream.
Old school.
Old school.
Hey, Ram. I ain't by myself.
Hey, I can't. You ain't good, coach. Hey, all of them old school, yeah. Hey, Pastor, the youngest one out the group in there.
That's all right.
Well, all that's old school, yeah.
Say what you want to say. I'm going to go find out on iTunes tonight. song is